Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. In this tutorial, I will show you some important information about animation, and this is just an introduction for animation. Animation is the illusion of motion of making objects depicted in a still image appear to move. In its simplest form, stick figures drawn on separate pages appear to move when the pages are viewed in a quick succession. Animation has advanced from that simple technique to sophisticated full-length feature films with sound and voice which are experienced today. In the past, movies were produced by laboriously drawing many images, posing figures, each slightly different to the next, which were photographed and transcribed to film. Each image was then said to be a frame in an animation sequence. Today, the process is accomplished by computer graphics, which essentially mimics that same process. But animation in Blender is accomplished by creating data which displays on the computer screen. The display is programmed to change over a period of time, which is timeline. It's a timeline editor and captured by camera interval. Shift A to add camera like this. And then captured by camera at intervals, producing frames of the animation. And here you can make and add frames. Each frame is rendered with, which means the Blender data is correlated and turned into a series of digital images. The images are compiled into a video clip or sequence depicting an action. Finally, a series of video clips are assembled, edited, combined with effects such as audio and converted to a movie file. So let's move on to show you some important tips to learn animation in Blender. First of all, you need to open up the animation screen. Animation may be performed in the default Blender screen. Go over here to header at the top of 3D viewport editor. In conjunction with the timeline editor, we have the screen animation alternative. The Blender has a dedicated animation workspace. Screen arrangement. The workspace is accessed in the Blender screen header over here, so search for, click on it. It's gonna be switching to the animation workspace. The 3D animation workspace comprises a 3D viewport editor, as shown here. In camera view, upper left-hand side, over there. Second 3D viewport editor, in user perspective view center. The outline editor is over there, so let's drag it over there. Outline editor and the properties editor. It's over here. The outline editor is containing a collection of all objects that you have created and modeled in the 3D viewport editor. Is gonna be shown up here in collections, organized in collections, or you make different collections. Also, the outline editor and properties editor at the right hand side. Over here, screen and the dope sheet and the timeline editor. We have the dope sheet over here and also the timeline editor to control your time and the number of frames for each unit of time. To see the timeline editor, drag the border up as shown here. We're going to show this this double-sided arrow is going to be dragging up in order to show the timeline editor with the dope sheet. So to demonstrate the very basics of animation process, the default cube object will be animated. So Shift A to add the default cube in 3D viewport editor, and to change the shape at the same time. Simple motion and the deformation of an object are only two of many features which may be animated. The objective is creating animation is to capture what you see on the screen in the camera view. This will be what is included in the final render. You may set up an animation sequence in the Blender scene, then position the camera. As you can see here, you can add a camera. When adding a camera, it's gonna be showing some different keyframes over there. We have this yellow dots. Control Alt 0 is gonna be visualizing your object to be animated, as shown like this. It's gonna be we're orbiting around. We have the camera over there. This camera is going to track your object motion along the path you want to follow it to animate your object, as shown here. It's gonna be shown in the summary camera and camera action object transformers. It's gonna be the most interesting features that going to distinguish in different objects. When clicking on this object to be animated, you can animate it, also move it and transform and translate it in this 3D space in 3D viewport editor. Also, you can add many different cameras and visualize in each part, in each section, where your object going to be animated, in which section. Also, you can locate it and looking around this motion and which motion to be applied for your object to be animated. What is captured will be rendered to a series of still images, frames using different frames along the path, along the timeline editor, containing in here, for example, 240 frames, and each second means 24 frames. Or if you want also to make some settings to change it to 30 frames per second. Producing a video clip, the clip will be finally compiled, spliced together with other clips to make a movie file. And you can also do some settings over there when trying to render the final work as shown here. So go over rendering, then render animation. This is gonna be rendering your animation. Thanks for watching. This is the first part for animation. If you want to learn it, support us, and thanks for watching.